Memphis May Fire dropped their new album Shapeshifter. Holy shit. Okay, so let's start. Majority of this record.
Let's address the elephant in the room here.
We've basically reviewed the record already, track by track. So if you want to do a track by track, just look at the fucking.
The past year of podcast episodes, every 28 days or so.
Exactly. We were talking about fucking Memphis May Fire.
Yeah.
So already that is like my one of my least favorite ways to roll out a record because it spoils it for me. They released 8 out of the 10 tracks as singles, which is already just my least favorite way to roll out a record. But that's the way they did it. It's a singles game now, so I completely understand it. If you're trying to reach a bigger audience, if you're trying to really just cast the widest net you can, this is the way to do it, especially because they're already such an established band. Everyone knows the name Memphis May Fire, so if you're constantly putting out shit, you're gonna grab people's attention. Still, boo, hate it. So
It clearly worked last time for them to want to do it again. I'm just putting it out there. As
but,
much as it sucks, and I hate it too. I'm not sitting here trying to justify it. It clearly worked, hence why they did it again. And at this point, I don't want to steal your thunder, but for me, this time around, listening through the record, it bothered me less because number one, I knew what was coming in terms of the rollout. We've been through this once before, and I was like, I got obsessed with Chaotic when it came out, but it was also the first single, so rightfully so. That song blew me the hell away. I couldn't believe that this was where things were going in terms of the next Memphis May Fire era. But I also felt like this time around there was a little bit more attention paid attention to with the track listing, and there was a little bit more intention behind it, because I did notice there were certain songs on the record where they didn't flow together seamlessly, but they went together in terms of track listing, which for me made it feel a little bit more like an album, whereas I didn't get that feeling with the last record. And although I love Remade Misery, I think it's a fantastic album, it did feel a little bit more like listening through a collection of singles, whereas this time it felt like, although I was basically listening to a collection of singles, there was a little bit more attention paid to the track list and felt a little bit more like an album experience. That's personally what I got from it. But I am still not a fan of the rollout. But it works, clearly.
Fuck, dude.
So that's all I gotta say.
I guess, damn. All right. No, you're right. That's completely fair. I mean, fuck. I still hate the fucking rollout, okay? That's all I have to say, you know? Okay. I'm just gonna say my favorite tracks, because as I said, we've already reviewed all of these. I think as a collection, I think it's a great, great fucking album. I think all of them are solid. It teeters on kind of the balance of super heavy shit that is catchy, to kind of more of the radio rock friendly sound. Fuck, I always forget the name of it. It's, what is it?
Octane Core.
Octane Core. I always forget because I'm an Alt Nation girl. I don't know what the fuck Octane means. So Alt Nation Core.
My Sirius XM stays dialed to channel 37.
37. It used to be 13 for Alt Nation, and then they changed it. I don't know what the fuck happened.
It's fucked up.
Put it back. So I think it's a great collection of tracks. As I said, I think it's definitely an album that could captivate a big audience, people who aren't necessarily huge into metal, people who are kind of leaning more towards the pop side of rock, not pop rock, but just, the poppier, more mainstream side of rock. I think they did it exceptionally well. My personal favorite, though, is Necessary Evil. It is a fucking nasty ass heavy song. The breakdown's crazy. It sounds how it should sound. With the name Necessary Evil, personally, I think of the Motionless in White song featuring Jonathan Davis from Korn. So I was like, if you're gonna name a track, if you're gonna have a little twin track, it should also be heavy as shit. Was it? Absolutely. This track still fucking is incredible. I believe it is. No, it's not the highest stream song off the record. Close to, though, and it deserves every single stream. It's genuinely, like, I spun it a couple times while I was listening to the record because I was like, fuck, I forgot how much I really like this. Then it's kind of after Necessary Evil, the album takes, like, a shift, and it kind of loses not loses, but it's just energy wise, it declines. It's the other side than Shapeshifter, which are still kind of on the
Shapeshifter is a
octane
great song.
core. I think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of when it goes to verses and Love is War, it kind of goes to, I mean, verses especially is such, for me, such a drop off energy wise, especially after Shapeshifter, because it is the slow track of the record. Granted, I think they placed it in the best spot possible because it's not smack dab in the middle of the record where it kills all the energy and momentum that they had building up. Because as I said, this record is very, I would say, crowd friendly because it's high energy. It's just good music, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Love is War, I think, is a great closer. It definitely has a really big moment. It has a big sound, but still energy wise, it's not pummeling you in the face. It's nothing that's like super high energy rock. It's just a good fucking closer. But again, with verses, it's just, I can understand why it wasn't a single. Firstly, I mean, putting it next to, you can't put that shit next to Necessary Evil. Like, people will be like, what happened to Memphis May Fire?
Yeah.
You know? So I get it. But goddamn, Necessary Evil, just listening to it again in the context of
Dude.
the record, in the context of the album, I was like, goddamn, this shit might be one of my favorite songs dropped just by Memphis May Fire. So, great album. Loved it. Well done.
Yeah. Another thing I'd like to say, as much as I don't like the rollout kind of guarantees that we're getting like basically the best of what you can get from Memphis May Fire, because there's so many songs that are intended to be singles that the songs are written to be singles. Even a slower song like The Other Side that was a single off the album is still a great song in my opinion because it's written to be a single. So the quality, in my opinion, at the grand scheme of things, of what Memphis May Fire is writing for, which is that metalcore, octane core, mass appeal kind of sound, which is fine. I love it. They're one of the best doing it because they're writing so many of those songs to be singles. So I'd just like to get that out of the way as well, because that was in the back of my mind. But I really dig this album. Honestly, I knew I would because we had so many opportunities to cement the fact that whether or not this album's good. But yeah, the way it opens with Chaotic is just, I love that we just keep pummeling the fact the rollout.
It fucking sucks.
Chaotic is a phenomenal opener. That song still blows my mind sometimes when I hear it. It's nothing like unbelievably crazy, but it's just like catchy ass chorus, and I was just I goosebumps the first time I heard that song. Genuinely, I turned it on because it came out. I remember the day it came out. I don't think it came out like at 12 a.m. It like dropped at like a weird time. I was driving to work. I threw it on, and I didn't know what to expect. It was totally blown away. And it kind of just, as I said, remained to continue to be blown away by that song. I think it's phenomenal. Easily one of my favorites off the record. Overdose, the first time I heard that song, similar feeling to Chaotic because it's written similarly to Chaotic. Fucking phenomenal. Necessary Evil is just straight up in your face. I genuinely, like, the last time I saw them was when they opened for Asking Alexandria, which, by the way, they wiped the floor with Asking Alexandria in terms of energy. Holy shit, they upstaged the fuck out of Asking Alexandria. It was their headliner. I was like, I could not, like, I saw it on paper and I'm like, yeah, Asking Alexandria is like 10 years past their prime, so, and that's generous. So this is probably going to go over the way it did. But like it led up with Archers, the Word Alive, and Memphis May Fire, and then Ask Alexandria came out, and they just like walked around stage for an hour after Matty Mullins just left everything of himself on that stage for 45 minutes.
Cartwheels and shit.
It was badass. But I thought Chaotic was going to be the crazy song because that was the song I was most excited to hear live. They played, they had like one brand new song out at the time that they didn't play, but they played all the other songs that were out at the time. And Necessary Evil blew me the fuck away hearing that song live. Bonkers. absolutely
Mm-hmm.
bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
I am also a big fan of Shapeshifter. I like what that song is saying. I relate to it. With life things. So listening to that song and getting to the lyrics of that song, that's why I like it. Although I think it's a very catchy song. I like what that song is saying. So and unfortunately relate to it. So across the board, phenomenal album. And they did it again. They knocked it out of the park for sure. They're going to be headlining in April and May, and peep the dates. I might be going to Philly's Mother's Day. Got to get approval from the mother. Make sure we're not doing anything for that evening, and then I'll be there. Maddie Mullins calling my name. I'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Maddie Mullins, you say jump, I say how high. You
Exactly.
know? That's Meaty Mullins. I still can't believe that's real. He's awesome. Dude. Every time we see him like on Instagram like a post, which is so rare. It is so fucking rare, but every now and then I'll come across like liked by Maddie Mullins. I send it to Shane and I say Maddie Mullins sighting. That's how much we love this man.
We
Genuinely
talk
shout
about him all
out
the
Maddie
time.
Mullins. It's like unironically, he's genuinely fucking awesome. I love him so much.